You're being deceived, and the evidence isn't some baseless gossip, it's a direct admission straight from her own words. There's a private document out there that was meant to stay hidden forever. It wasn't hacked or swiped, it was composed, endorsed, and dispatched by Blake Lively personally. She penned it at 3 a.m., and that timing is crucial. 3 in the morning isn't when you're at your peak, it's when desperation hits hard, when you're losing your grip and hammering away at the keyboard like everything's on the line. She hunkered down and churned out 25 pages of single-spaced text, firing it off to the Producers Guild of America, pleading for a producer role she was never contracted for, and she battled tooth and nail to bury this letter under seal. Now it's clear why. Because this isn't a simple CV, it's a twisted mind game. In these pages, Blake paints herself as the puppet master pulling every tiny string on the film, only to flip the script in court, claiming she was utterly helpless, tormented, and demanding 17 layers of safeguards just to show up. Pick a lane. You can't dominate as the overlord and wail as the oppressed in the same sentence. This document roars dominance. It reeks of absolute command. It sounds like she treated that production like her private empire, with everyone else barely tolerated as subjects. She kicks off by boasting about relocating the shoot. She declares she spearheaded the switch from Boston to New Jersey, rattling off about cost cuts, operational tweaks, and streamlined processes. What's so special about New Jersey? Her own home turf. She dragged a blockbuster budget operation right to her doorstep and spun it as some noble deed. That's not real guidance, that's self-serving ease masquerading as heroic compromise. Next, she parades the staff like conquests. She personally dialed up crew members, cherry-picked key positions, hairstylists, makeup artists, cinematographers, wardrobe experts, guards, cameramen. She brought on the dietitian, the fitness coach, the food prep team, the hair dye specialist, and yeah, she gloats about the tanning expert. You're gunning for producer status because you lined up a bronzer for the actors? That's not filmmaking, that's booking a beauty treatment. She boasts about overhauling the production aesthetics for every major site, revamping outfits for all roles, pulling strings to stock the scenes. That's not teamwork, that's total takeover. Then she confesses to revising the screenplay, beefing up a part after 3 performers passed, sifting through countless audition reels, and personally wooing Brandon Sklenar via a custom note. Let's break it down. She altered the script, selected the cast, assembled the team, crafted the environments, dictated the clothing, but we're expected to swallow that she cowered from the director after she gutted his power and then screamed foul play. The film was greenlit as R-rated from the jump. Deals were inked, the studio and distributors were committed. Blake shoved for a PG-13 pivot. She badgered the execs, strong-armed the sellers, steamrolled the director, and won out. Later, she slings mud at him for pushing mature elements, the exact stuff the project was built on. She rewrote the playbook halfway through and then branded him the rule breaker. That's not being preyed upon, that's straight-up manipulation. Then she owns up to axing the first assistant director, drops her name, crows about the decision, insists she had superior insight. Who broadcasts that? You don't slap someone's identity into a guild submission about canning them unless you're flexing your muscle. That's not openness, that's a veiled threat. And here's the most outrageous bombshell. She claims she oversaw HR operations every single day. Chew on that. The same person lodging a harassment grievance says she was in charge of HR. So, who does she escalate the abuse to? Her own desk? You can't wield the power and then moan about being crushed by the machine you're operating. That's not logic, that's delusion. She monitored the feed after every scene, mapped out shots alongside the director, chaired gatherings, tackled emergencies like fires, navigated the writer's strike, onboard intimacy supervisors and stand-ins. By now, the real mystery isn't her alleged suffering, it's if anyone else got to breathe without her permission. In post-production, the seizure of control hits full throttle. She touts logging at least 10-hour shifts, stretching to 22-hour marathons for weeks on end, surviving on 3 hours of shut-eye. Then she details her feats, collaborated with the initial cutter briefly, just to nod at respecting the director's intent. Then she imports her own editing squad, flips the whole thing upside down, selected 90% of the soundtrack, recruited a fresh scorer, hand-recruited musicians, orchestrated preview showings, pored over every comment, recut it over and over. And which version hit theaters? Hers, not his. Her assembly, her tunes, her overhaul. She ousted his editor, his composer, his blueprint, and unleashed her rendition. Yet somehow he's the despot. That's not partnership, that's an outright overthrow. Marketing follows suit. She huddled with Sony brass, dictated trailer edits, supplied timestamps, coordinated with global crews, online squads, picked palettes, typefaces, wording, pacing. She snagged badges off Amazon, outfitted co-stars for promo. She commandeered the campaign, and when it tanked, she pointed fingers everywhere else. You can't hog the glory in success and duck the fallout in failure. After 25 pages of iron-fisted rule, she pulls the gender equity ploy. Insists she merits recognition as a female, a parent, an icon. Enough. You just outlined hijacking a guy's film, sacking his crew, vetoing his version, and barring him from his own creation. This isn't discrimination. This is arrogance on steroids. She throws Bradley Cooper's name around. Identical tactic. Lean on celeb clout until they buckle. She even trumpets landing Taylor Swift's track Wildest Dreams. So smug. This is the identical figure alleging deep wounds, crafting a 3 a.m. self-ode to her might. This isn't a plea, it's an indictment. She commandeered the production, seized the reins, and when the accolades she craved didn't materialize, she torched the joint and scapegoated the survivors. Blake Lively wasn't ensnared in a toxic atmosphere, she engineered the toxicity. And this document is merely the surface. We'll keep stripping away the facade. The deeper we dig, the less it reeks of persecution and the more it stinks of tyranny. That's my take.